Good evening. It's Wednesday night at about 6:51 p.m., March 21st, 2012, and I'm still in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I wanted to make a quick little video to kind of give everybody a heads up and a update of what my progress has been, what's been going on for about the last month or so. For those of you who are just coming on board, I arrived in Fayetteville on February 25th, so it's been almost a month since I've been in Fayetteville. But my stay here has been very productive. I certainly didn't stay here for the vacation aspect of it. When I arrived here, my plan was to stay here for about a week. I had a couple of fundraiser events in place. I had a newspaper interview in place. All of that happened perfectly on time. We raised a lot of good money for our cause. The newspaper article went over with flying colors. Some people in town even recognized me from the newspaper article. Oh, and also we had on the phone interview with the local country and western station here in Fayetteville. That went over very, very well. But what kept me in Fayetteville this long was a day or two before I arrived here, I had gotten caught in a thunderstorm. I walked the entire day. The rain was coming down in sheets. I wasn't about to stop because bad weather doesn't stop me unless it's severe, like tornadoes or very heavy thunderstorms. And sometimes I may not walk in bad weather if it starts before I start my daily walk. It's not so much because I'm not afraid to get cold or wet or whatever, but my concern is that not all drivers out there are careful in severe weather. And a lot of the times when I'm walking down the street, I have no shoulder and I always don't have an escort. So I have to weigh the pros and cons of walking in bad weather. Again, this is if it starts before my walk starts that day. I have my daughter to think about and my family, and I have to weigh the pros and cons. But if I'm walking in it and it starts then, I'll just keep going. But I kind of play it by ear depending on the day and the route. But anyway, coming to Fayetteville, I got caught in a very bad thunderstorm, and I had gotten a flu from that. It kept me in bed for a good 7 to 8 days. I had a fever, very bad cough. I had the chills. I had vomited a couple of times, and it wasn't a very, very pretty picture. Well, the next week, I was going to start over again. That put me into 2 weeks here in Fayetteville. And then I got an email from a CNN producer out of New York. Now, I can't tell you what the specific show was because it's still under wraps, but that week they wanted to fly me from here to New York, do a live taping, and then fly me back. And the day before I was supposed to leave, they sent me an email to tell me that they had to postpone because of larger stories, which, that's just part of the media world. I don't care how great your story is, a bigger story can trump your story. So that's happened a couple times already, so I didn't take it personally. But we still have an iron in that fire, and CNN is still very interested in what I'm doing. They just have to kind of put me in where I'll fit in. So that's still on the back burner. And then for those of you who don't know, the following week after that, I got news that a very dear, close friend of mine named Joe Ballinger died of a stroke. I know Joe Ballinger from way back in the 1980s. him and I served in the Marine Corps together in Hawaii. We were both assigned to 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines. And as luck would have it, for lack of a better term, he was living in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is about 2.5 hours northwest of where I'm at now. So being this close to him and his family, I took that other week off to, he passed away on a Monday, and his funeral was that following weekend. So that was my 3rd or 4th weekend off the road. Anyway, so Fayetteville has really been a very productive, adventurous stop for me. Oh, and I almost forgot. One of the things that I was able to accomplish, I shouldn't say me, but we at Project Foot and Marine Walking, the days that I was sort of in limbo in my motel room, I got really busy. I spent some days 12, 14, 16 hours on the telephone calling everybody that I could think of, and we got together as a foundation and we helped probably a dozen, maybe, I don't remember the exact number, probably a dozen at the most, people that were affected by the recent tornadoes in Tennessee, I think Louisiana, I think even Mississippi. We were able to help a couple of families. I do want to point out that we here at Project Foot and Marine Walking know that all of you came forward. I just simply made the phone calls. I put the request out there. You guys stepped up and you donated and you sponsored and you prayed and you helped us. So we were just a messenger. All of you came forward and helped us to help them. We sort of stepped out of our realm of helping the veterans, and we helped those during that traumatic time that weren't necessarily veterans. We don't know if they were or not. We just felt a need to do what we could to help those victims of the tornadoes and the bad storms in that time period. So we're very proud of what we could do. We're still helping those that we can. We had a lot of you, again, helped us help them. So we owe you so much. And we really want to thank you for coming on board to help us. It was a real blessing that all of you came forward. So now, the last couple of days, I'm trying to do this by memory. Today's Wednesday. On Monday, I did an in-studio interview with a local Channel 14 here in Fayetteville. And today, I did a speaking engagement at a local school. So, sometimes God throws these things in your way that you don't plan for and that you don't anticipate, but it's all for a bigger picture and a bigger cause. So as it stands right now, I'm scheduled to leave Fayetteville tomorrow. So tomorrow morning I'll head south. My route again is down into Florida. I will tell you that not this weekend, but next weekend, around the 31st, I will come back this direction, and I'll be in Charlotte, the weekend of the 31st, which is a Sunday. They're going to have a very large official homecoming event for the Vietnam veterans. The Charlie Daniels Band's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be a huge turnout and a huge event. I was invited by a friend of mine named Elizabeth that I met on not here in Fayetteville, but before. I think she's from South Hill. And Elizabeth, you'll forgive me if I got your town wrong, but it was before Fayetteville. So I met her there with her husband, a great bunch of people, and she extended the invitation for me to appear at this event. So, of course, I jumped on it. I'm not going to be speaking there, but it'll be my chance to intermingle with the Vietnam vets. So I'm going to be there. My girlfriend Donna is going to show up there with me, and we're going to kind of mingle around the crowd and pass out business cards and kind of put the word out through there as well. So that's going to be something cool. And then once that's over, I'll continue down south into Florida. Some of you have asked, when will I be in Florida? I'm thinking on or about the middle of May, maybe the end of May, right as it stands right now. Again, I never know what's coming down the road for me. So even though I was here for a month, it wasn't a vacation. I worked every day. If I wasn't on the computer trying to raise funds or trying to raise awareness for the tornado victims, I was on the phone. This walk of mine, I don't know if some of you even realize it, but it's like a full-time job, and I love what I'm doing. My day usually begins about 4 or 5 in the morning. I'll do a quick little cardio workout. I got to send out some emails. I got to post on my Facebook. Then I walk during the day, and I videotape. When I get done for the day, I have to submit my daily blog. I have to submit my story writing to my author Debbie Noel. I have to answer emails. I have to prepare for the next day. So my days are long, but I love what I'm doing. They say that if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. I definitely love what I'm doing, and it's more rewarding than anything I could ever do. One quick change on some plans that some of you are aware of, and then I'll go ahead and shut the video down. I've been announcing for probably the last month or so that I'm going to run in this year's Marine Corps Marathon. Well, I discovered yesterday that I can't, and I'll tell you why. The Marine Corps Marathon has X number of entries that you can buy. There's an administration fee to run in the marathon, and I thought that the registration opened up at the end of March. So I got on the internet yesterday to submit my application, but I was mistaken. It was actually opened up the early part of March, and every entry's been bought. So there's no more room for any more runners. But that's the bad news, but here's the good news. And it's actually kind of a mixed blessing. There is a marathon in December in Las Vegas. So I've decided that I'm going to run that one instead of the one in Washington, D.C. I'll pay for my way to and from Las Vegas and my stay there. We're still going to make the marathon a fundraiser marathon for me. And we'll get the forms created where anybody who wants to can pledge so much money per mile. We're going to get that done real quick because we have a goal. We want to raise $10,000 in that marathon. So we want to take a bid at least probably a minimum of $1 per mile, which comes out to $26. So our goal is $10,000. We're asking you, please put the word out. The marathon is on December 2nd of this year in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'll keep reminding everybody about that. So let me go ahead and close for now. I want to thank all of you again for your love, for your prayers, for your continued support. Every day I'm inundated with barrages of prayers and inspirational comments and powerful encouragement, and I love you all so much. You guys have been the foundation and the strength that I've needed to make it on this walk so far. So I want to thank you all again. I love you all so much. I'm sorry, one more quick note. Sorry, my mind is racing as I'm talking. I do have a blog radio show, and every Sunday night that I can do it, it's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To find the link to my blog radio show, just look for it on Facebook. I will announce it 2 or 3 times during the week. There'll be a link there. You can just click on it and listen to the show. I will also include a phone number if you want to call in and be part of the show. So on that note, let me go ahead and close. Again, thank you all so much for everything. I would not be as successful as I am today if it were not for each and every one of you. So you're the reason I'm successful. I'm just a guy walking. I may be the boots on the ground, but I could not do it without all of you, so I owe you so much. So wishing everybody a wonderful night, and if everything goes as planned, my boots will hit the pavement tomorrow morning. God bless, love you all, and Semper Fi.